Hello everyone and welcome to another video on collecting diecast on a budget. This is another entry into our Noughties Le Mans collection, and in front of us we can see we have a Cadillac LMP. I think they were called Cadillac Northstar, and this one raced in the 2000 Le Mans 24 hours in the LMP 900 class, which became LMP 1. This car was entered by the French Mans team. So there were two teams that entered Le Mans that year with Cadillacs. You had the American team, which I believe was probably Riley and Scott, who built these cars, and then Dams, who are a French team that ran the cars in Europe. I think Riley and Scott raced them in ALMS at the time. The Cadillac was probably seen as one of the few cars that might be able to challenge Audi for outright honours, being another manufacturer-based team. Really, from a manufacturer point of view, in LMP 900 you had Audi, Panoz and Cadillac, so three main teams, and then you had a lot of privateer teams such as Pescarolo with their Peugeot engine prototypes, Courages, things like that. So, like I said, this was Riley and Scott built car run by the French Dams team. It was driven by Guissons, Tinsu and Colby. And this car, unfortunately, it qualified 20th, but it would be a DNF. I don't know the full reason why it DNF'd. I have a feeling it was probably through reliability. The American engined prototypes had a bit of a habit of the V8 sort of almost shaking themselves to bits in places. So that probably undid all the work that the team did to get there, unfortunately. Powered by a Chevrolet V8, obviously, being Cadillac, part of the GM group. This particular car has Motorola sponsorship, and this is sort of tied in with it being a Dams run car. So Motorola, obviously, were raising their profile a lot through the 90s and 2000s as a producer of mobile devices, things like that. The model itself is a Spark model, and Spark are obviously some of the best diecast you can get. Not diecast though, because they are resin models. This one I actually only paid £23 in the end. It was listed at £29.99, I believe. But I actually had a voucher which gave me 20% off, which brought it down to £23 from £29.99. Those vouchers on eBay are quite often given to you through using eBay, so they don't actually impact what the seller gets. So the seller gets the full £29.99 in this case, but I only paid £23.99 with this voucher that eBay gave myself. So let's have a look at this model in a bit more detail. Firstly, really nice paint finish, as you would expect on a Spark model. Now this one is an older model, so it has been out for a little while, and what I have noticed is there are some slight imperfections. So you've got just here, you can probably see the light just catching it, there's a dimple there, and in here you can see there's some stuff going on. The wing's a little bit loose as well, but I'm not going to put any pressure on it. One thing though you will see, which is sort of why Spark are some of the best models that you can buy, is that in the interior here you can see a photo etch seatbelt, which looks really realistic with the buckles in there. You've got a lot of texture within the cockpit. If I pull it this way, you can see there's some detail as well on the steering wheel, reflective mirrors. We do have a brake with a brake disc as well. The wheels do look a little bit, I don't know, flat, but maybe they did on the real car. The only thing I would say that lets this model down, which a new Spark probably wouldn't have, is here. I think that would probably be a photo etch piece now on a modern Spark model. So you've got the carbon fibre effect as well. There's a bit of texture on that interior. I've picked out all the little buckles, so you can just see where my finger is. There's a latch to keep the rear bodywork on. This is a separate piece here as well. Interestingly, the tow hook is here as opposed to on the front of the nose, which I thought was quite interesting. Go to the rear of the model. I think these lights are painted. I can't quite tell if they're painted or a lens in there. Exhaust are nicely done. Some more little latch detail there on the back. decals are all really good. Lots of nice little details all over this model, to be fair. It's not the prettiest car that's ever lived. You can see that they tried to adopt the very Cadillac front end that was on like the CTS-Vs and stuff at the time. Probably not much use for a race car. I'm not sure if it actually has a function. It hasn't got any depth to it other than being present, but I would imagine it probably was an inlet for air to keep the radiators and things like that cool, potentially. But yeah, a really nice model. Like I said, £23 for a Spark model. You can't really knock it. It is obviously second hand. It did have its display case, which I do have here, but it needs a bit of a clean up. It's a bit grubby. But yeah, it's all there. No card sleeve though, I will say that. But yeah, overall, a pretty good model for what I paid. Very happy to have it in the collection. I don't think it was a model that's really been done much other than by Spark and some other high-end diecast companies. So this is probably the only one of these Lone Stars that we're going to have in the collection, but hopefully we may find more. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. What do you think of the Cadillac Northstar? An interesting entry to Le Mans. Obviously Cadillac has returned to Le Mans in recent years, and hopefully we'll have more success than they had with this one. Catch you for another video soon, guys.